Welcome to another round of Prem and Proper here at SDH, where we take you through Match Week 34 and maybe 33 and a half and get you ready for Match Week 35 when it comes to the Premier League. We will go backward, go through all the scores, get you where you are with your standings, all the madness at the bottom, everybody chasing European spots. That'll come up in short order, and we will get you ready for the weekend that will be with juice boxes and everything that you need to know when it comes to Match Week 35. So let's go backward before we go forward, as we always do. Looking at your scores, and traditionally because we ended up with a lot of action in, say, the last week and a half, that's where we will go. That's where we'll go when it comes to what we saw. Going back into the last 7 days, as we traditionally do, start you back on the 29th of April, and it was Crystal Palace over West Ham by the score of 4-3 in a crazy one. Crystal Palace getting full points. Roy Hodgson continues the Crystal Palace charge with him temporarily on the touchline at a plus 162. Brighton knocked off Wolves by the score of 6-0, and it wasn't even that close. Could have been a lot worse with the goals winning at a minus 182 at the Amex. Brentford in a heartbreaking loss for Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest had a 1-0 lead at the G-Tech. Then they couldn't hang on to it. Then they go a man down because of injury to Danilo, and they were out of subs. Brentford comes back and scores and gets the win 2-1 at a minus 137. Also on the board on your Sunday, Newcastle over Southampton by the score of 3-1 at a minus 370. Manchester United passed Aston Villa at a minus 133. At 1-0 scoreline there. Manchester City down early to Fulham, comes back to win it 2-1 at Craven Cottage at a minus 357. Bournemouth, a decisive win over Leeds at a plus 147 at the Vitality 4-1. Liverpool in another crazy one, 4-3 over Tottenham. When you thought it was a tie, Liverpool's up 3-0. Then it was 3-3. And you thought that Tottenham might have gotten out of there with a point with a goal at 90. Liverpool, 90 plus 4, gets the seventh goal of the match at a minus 179, gets away with full points. During the week, Monday Night Football, a relegation six-pointer, got a point for each. Leicester and Everton, a 2-2 draw. One team had a 2-0 lead. Other team comes back to tie it at 2. Jordan Pickford saves a penalty that kept it a point aside by having the notes of the penalty takers on his water bottle. Good on you. Good gamesmanship and good intel at a plus 247. Arsenal continues Chelsea's woes, and believe it or not, there are actually columns out there about how Chelsea could get relegated. Obviously, they'd have to lose out their last 4 matches, and then a lot of things would have to happen with the folks below them. But there are columns being written about Chelsea and relegation. Arsenal at a minus 164 gets the win 3-0. In the midweek, Manchester City 3-0 over West Ham at a minus 526. Liverpool a 1-0 win over Fulham at Anfield. Brighton beats Manchester United on a late goal, winning 1-0 at a plus 118 at the Amex. So where does that put us? Well, I'll tell you, when it comes to the standings, after a lot of the matches that are in hand have been almost caught up, only one team has 32 matches played. That's Brighton. They got some work to do in the next upcoming weeks. Manchester City, Newcastle, Manchester United, Chelsea, they are all at 33 matches played. Everybody else is at 34 as we head into Match Week 35. So here's the deal. Manchester City, match in hand, point above Arsenal at 79 points to 78. Newcastle, 65 points, same number of matches played as Manchester United. They're at 63. That is Europe right now. Europa League, Liverpool with 34 matches played, 59 points. Brighton with matches in hand, they're 4 points back. Right now they're both in Europa League spots. Europa Conference League spot at 7 goes to Spurs with a goal difference of plus 6. And they have lost 3 of their last 4. They have only 1 point in their last 4 matches. Aston Villa goal difference of plus 4 to plus 6. That's the difference right now in Europa Conference League with Aston Villa. Group number 2, Brentford at 50 points, Fulham at 45. That gets you through the top 10. Fulham have lost 3 in a row. Crystal Palace with Roy Hodgson, they've ticked off a box in each column in their last 3. They're at 40 points. They're in 11th. Chelsea has lost 4 in a row. 1 point in their last 5. Frank Lampard's record has been abysmal since he took over temporarily on the touchline. They're at 39 points. So is Bournemouth, by the way. Bournemouth is 34 matches played, 13th place. They've won 4 of 5 under Gary O'Neill. We'll hear from him coming up in just a little bit. Wolves at 37 points. They've won 3 of 5, lost 2 of 3. However, West Ham has lost 3 in a row. When you thought that they had maybe escaped all of the discussion about relegation, they're only now 4 points ahead of the Madness. Now, here's what's going on. Leicester at 16th. They're at 30 points. Goal difference of minus 13. They're up above the relegation zone. Leeds, with a horrendous goal difference, minus 24, is at 30 points. They're out of the relegation zone on goal difference. Nottingham Forest is going to have to do this on points and not goal difference because their goal difference is minus 32. They've only scored 30 goals in 34 matches. They are currently in the relegation zone, having lost 4 of 5. Everton at 29 points. They're in 19th. They've gotten 2 points in their last 5 matches. Southampton only 1 point in their last 5 matches. They are at 24 points. So let's get you set up for the weekend that will be and hear from the coaches. We mentioned Gary O'Neill. Here's what he thinks right now with Bournemouth at their position in the table at 13th, what the challenges are for the remainder of the season.
Obviously, they had a couple of days off after what was a big win for us and a big week. So, they've come back in. We've spoken about what the next 4 games need to look like for us. But, of course, they have earned the right to feel a little bit less pressure for the next 4 games. So, looking forward to seeing them perform. Still a lot of points still available to us, and of course, as the head coach of the team, desperate to put as many points on the board as possible, regardless of the situation. So, really want to finish the season strong and then take that into the summer break with us.
Bournemouth's highest ever points total in the Premier League is 45 points. You're currently on 39 with 4 to go. So, creating a new piece of history for this football club is still very attainable. Is that now the new target?
No, the target's still the same, it's still Chelsea. I mean, people ask me points tallies all season, really, what I felt we'd need to stay up, and now you guys are trying to get me to commit to another one. But no, it's just, trying to beat Chelsea at the weekend, add another 3 points, and my aim is to get as many as we can. If that's more than 45, more than 46, great. If it means we have to work our socks off and we can only get 42, 43, then so be it. But we'll be giving everything we can as we have done to try and put as many on the board as possible.
Thanks to Bournemouth, their own selves. Now we go over to Nottingham Forest, and thanks to Forest, as Steve Cooper addresses the situation with Dean Henderson. Does he have a future at Forest after being loaned out, and he's out for the remainder of the season?
And with Dean as well, he'd sort of, obviously he's on loan from Manchester United, but he'd really bought into the football club and even the city, moving here and making it a permanent base for the loan showed that he really wanted to be part of on and off the pitch. So we've had great commitment from Dean, even when he hasn't been available in the last few months. So it's a pity that his season has absolutely ended through surgery, but he has to now focus on his recovery, and we have a good working relationship with United and communication, and obviously it's still fresh after the injury in terms of what the plans will be, but we wish him well really on his recovery.
Just looking at this final stretch of games, you've spoken a lot recently about belief. I wonder how you manage that belief after the highs of Brighton and then kind of after the Brentford result with so many games.
And I think that's the key. The very contrasting emotions in a few days. We were desperate to get that first win for a while against Brighton, and I think you could see that even though we enjoyed the win, of course, we never got too high from it because we knew that the next game was coming quickly, and you could see how we played the game, apart from how it ended, that there was a real determination to try and get another positive result, and then obviously that wasn't to be, and it was a difficult one for all of us to take. But as you said in the question, it's keeping the balance between the highs and the lows and carrying on. There's the next game was still going to be the next game, and the importance was always going to be really high. We would have loved to have gone into it with a better result than what we ended up getting at Brentford, but we haven't, and we have to, and we have picked ourselves up and get on with it.
Now to Chelsea. We mentioned they're in 12th right now. They're in a lot of trouble. Folks are actually looking forward to seeing Chelsea on the schedule. Here's Frank Lampard's comments on how Todd Boehly and Boehly Clearlake are adjusting to life as owners.
No, I think it's a good thing. It's to speak to positively is what I've found since I've been here. Good intentions where the club's going to be taken. So that's good. And then from my point of view, I don't know. I'm here in this period. I'm working with the squad at the minute to try and get some form of turnaround in terms of feeling, performance, and then results. And other than that, I think it's obviously the owners of the club to take those bigger decisions. Nice.
Thanks to Chelsea, their own selves. Now over to West Ham, and courtesy of the Hammers, David Moyes is coming into this weekend a little short-handed, but just how much?
They've been in today, so today was their first day we've had a chance to assess them. They've done a little bit of training, so I'm hoping that they'll all be available for the weekend.
And has anybody else been affected by this virus? Or?
Yeah, we've got a couple of other people who are just... one other player was sent home this morning, and we've got another one who's just said that he didn't feel so good, so we've just got to hope that we can contain it.
Do you know what it is at this stage?
No, we don't. No, we don't know if it's just something we've picked up. We've no idea, but it looks as if it's more like sort of sickness, and the players are getting over it quite quickly.
Any closer to learning more about Kurt Zuma's injury and how long he may be out for?
No, we're not going to give a sort of timeline on Kurt, because we know he's a boy who does improve very quickly, but he's also got an ankle injury, so no, we've got no real date for that at the moment.
In terms of on-pitch matters, how do you feel about your hopes of staying in the Premier League with 4 matches left to play?
Very confident. I think we're if we play to our best, we'll give any team a really good game. So I'm hoping that we play at our best, and if we do that, then we'll certainly gain the extra points, which we probably need to do at this present time.
Southampton, bottom of the table, and Southampton, their press conference this week, Ruben Sellas was asked if it is a lost cause or if he still thinks they can get out of the relegation fight with 4 matches to go.
Well, we are going to be focusing what we can do, and this is it's not 4 games left. For us, it's 1, and it's Nottingham Forest on Monday night, and that's all our focus. We don't see more than that, and we cannot control what the others do, but we can control our mindset and how we are going to go and play the game against Nottingham Forest. And that's what we have been doing, and we are going to go and try to win that game, and that's our way to focus on that.
So it's not mission impossible right now?
Absolutely not. There's still points to play. I think we showed that we can perform. For us, it's about how we can be more robust in our performance and translate that performance into points.
How are the players feeling right now? They've not won in 9 games. Do they still believe?
Yeah, of course. And you have moments a little bit up and a little bit down for all of us, but the players still know that they can do it, and it's not a game that we have played that we were completely out of the game. We compete against any team in the Premier League, and that's our belief, that we have been competitive, and for some reason or the other we didn't got the points, and if there is a time to do it, it's right now.
Let's be realistic though, if you lose this game, Forest will be 9 points ahead with 3 games left. It would be game over, wouldn't it?
It will be more difficult than ever.
Yeah. Are you thinking yet about next season, Ruben? Have you had any conversation with Martin Semmens about whether you'll still be here if you go down?
Well, I'm focusing what I have in front of me. I'm focusing in what we have for Monday night. And of course, the club is making the movements and preparing next season in some different scenarios. But for me, my focus is right now. And then when the season is over, we will see what's the situation. I always say that I want to be here for the next 10 years. That's my ambition. But a lot of things will happen in the coming weeks in one way or the other. And we just need to be respectful with that. So maximum focus on now. And then, of course, the club has the way in some different scenarios.
Courtesy of Liverpool and Liverpool TV, Jurgen Klopp is next up. Liverpool in 5th, 4 points back. They've played 1 more match than Manchester United. He was asked, can you catch him?
United has 63. So we can get 71 maximum. United needs for that 8 points. in 5 from 15. I think they will do that, to be honest. So, they win 3 games of the rest, and that's it for us. So it's not about that. We have enough to do with ourselves and these kinds of things. We have to be tomorrow, Brentford. Oh my God, it's such a difficult game to play. You can control the whole game theoretically, not that that's already written in stone, but you could. And one set piece can kill you, and they are really good in counter-attacking. That's such a good setup and all these kind of things. The throw-ins are great, the corners are great, the free kicks are great, the players are great, the manager is fantastic. So that's a really difficult game, and how could I think of anything else besides that? And that's why, no, we will not change the approach.
On that note then, Jürgen, is the message quite a simple one, that all you can do is take care of your own business?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Pressure on.
Yeah. It's not about if our performances or the results put pressure on our teams. That's not in our hands as well. I said it now. The way they played over the year, the first 4 teams, nobody looks like losing from now on more games than they win. Never did that in the whole season. Why should they do it now? No, exactly. It's for us finishing the season as high as somehow possible. And that is the plan since we start winning. It was before that as well, but it didn't look that bright, to be honest. Now that could mean we could be 5th, which is not given yet. 6th is not given, so they are all so good. Aston Villa, I'm not 100% sure who else. Tottenham, of course. Brighton, definitely, and maybe Brentford as well. I don't know exactly the numbers, but they all are fighting for that, and so do we, and that's all.
Leeds has a new manager in Big Sam. Big Sam's getting paid £500,000 for the last 4 matches of the season. He gets another $2 million if they stay up. Pep was asked about Leeds in and of itself, and Sam Allardyce's comments earlier in the week, where Big Sam said that when it comes to Pep, Arteta, and Klopp, he is right there with them when it comes to ability.
Conferences, but you have a very good record against him. Your teams score a lot of goals against his teams.
It's the past, so always the impact a new manager at the players in the first 1 or 2 games. Of course, they are playing. Every team is playing for important things, but of course, Leeds to stay here. The impact always is huge. I don't know what the system is going to play. We don't have any info because we have to adapt quick after 10-15 minutes. What we can imagine what is trying to do against us And again, it's a massive, important game for us.
Have you got to think of anything about Real Madrid?
No, I'm thinking in how. So it's a lot of games with a lot of tension. You have to see today. Yesterday, I saw the team really tired after because the mending from Fulham and West Ham was so big, and I have to see how the players are. How they recover this again, just 3 days in the previous games, and how my decisions will be focused in how they are physical and mental to play that game. And after Madrid, because again, Premier League is so nice. It's so important tomorrow to go, 4 points in front, Arsenal. And it's really, really important. And all focus is in the game tomorrow.
That courtesy of Manchester City. Last man that we hear from this week is the current caretaker manager of Spurs, Ryan Mason. Spurs right now, we mentioned, they're in 7th. They're in that fight for Europa and Europa Conference League, or not even qualifying for anything in Europe. He was asked about the head coaching search.
I'm sure naturally when there's uncertainty, there's going to be names. That's football. That's part of it. But none of my energy, none of my attention is going into any outside noise or speculation. Within these walls, we're together, we're working together, and we've got a common goal, and that's trying to get as many results as possible till the end of the season. And I'm sure in the summer there'll be things happen, but at the moment that's pretty irrelevant.
As caretaker manager, if you can do the job that Roy Hodgson has done at Palace, then you'll be quite rightly in with a shout of getting the job permanently. What do you think of the job that Roy's done since he's been there?
Amazing. Obviously, will always have a soft spot for Roy Hodgson because he gave me my England debut. So I'll always be thankful for that. But of course, we're playing Crystal Palace in a very good moment, probably their best moment this season. So we understand it's going to be a difficult match, but at the same time, we're confident in our stadium with our fans. We can get a result.
Interesting. You said that he gave you your debut. I guess you're at one end of the experience Premier League manager scale, and he's right at the other end. Do you still think he's got a lot to offer the game?
Yeah, of course. I think recent results and performances suggest that. I think the most important thing in football is, have you got the fire inside of you and can you influence players? And he's definitely got that still.
That courtesy of Spurs with Ryan Mason's response. So let's get you prepped for the weekend and the week that will be, because once again, it is activity on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And folks finally get the midweek off for a change, but there's a lot of activity that is going to be going on. Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern, Bournemouth hosting Chelsea. Chelsea's only a favorite at a plus 125. Bournemouth is a plus 229. Also, Manchester City, big favorite going up against Leeds. Pep Guardiola has said he is going to rotate because of tiredness. How much rotation? We don't know, but Leeds is a plus 1420. Manchester City's just under minus 600. Spurs hosting Crystal Palace. Spurs are a minus 125 at Tottenham Stadium. Crystal Palace north of plus 335. Wolves hosting Aston Villa, also at 10 o'clock at a plus 204. Villa, a road favorite at the Molineux at a plus 148. Your 12:30 match, Liverpool and Brentford from Anfield. Liverpool, decisive favorite at a minus 208. Your draw is basically a plus 400 in the composite, courtesy of our friends at Odds Portal. Brentford is a plus 523. Sunday, two matches, 11:30 and 2 o'clock. Newcastle hosting Arsenal. Newcastle is a home favorite at a plus 145. Arsenal's a plus 180. Your draw's a plus 276. 2 o'clock, West Ham hosting Manchester United. The Hammers are a big home dog at a plus 247 at London Stadium. Draws a plus 273. Manchester United is a plus 108. Monday, triple header on Monday after the coronation happens this weekend for King Charles. So that's why you have some matches that have been juggled around. 3 matches on Monday. 10 o'clock Eastern Time, Fulham and Leicester. Fulham at a plus 169. Your draw's a plus 257. Leicester a plus 161. 12:30, Brighton hosting Everton at the Amex. Brighton a minus 263. Everton north of plus 700. And Nottingham Forest at home at City Ground, a must-win situation for them. Must-win for Southampton as well. Nottingham Forest a plus 117. Your draw's a plus 252. And Southampton is a plus 242. That's your rundown of everything that is going on in a very, very busy weekend in the Premier League. We welcome back Sam Allardyce, who's going to take the 7-point plan that he has and try to keep Leeds out of relegation back into the championship. Speaking of which, we do know when it comes to promotion and relegation, we have a larger picture of what it looks like, who is going up, who is going down. We know in the championship that it is Burnley going up. They won the EFL championship. They are 10 points clear of Sheffield United. This is the last weekend of the regular season. So Sheffield United also going up. But the 4 settled. Luton Town will have a home game. Middlesbrough will have a home game. But the decision for 5 and 6, that's where the fun starts. Coming into the weekend, Coventry at 69 points. Millwall at 68. They are currently 5 and 6. Sunderland's at 66 points. West Brom is at 66 points. Blackburn is at 66 points. Those 3 are going to need wins and some help. Goal differences. Coventry plus 12. Millwall plus 8. Sunderland plus 10. West Brom plus 7. Blackburn, the one in trouble, at a minus 3. They're going to need the most help when it comes to these 5 teams chasing after the final 2 spots when it comes to the championship playoff to be the 3rd team promoted into the Premier League for the 23-24 season. Your relegated teams have all been decided. Reading down to League One, Blackpool down to League One, Wigan down to League One. So those are your 3 teams that are heading down to League One next season. So in League One, how does it look? Looking at the standings there, with once again 1 match to go. Plymouth in, Ipswich in. We just don't know the order yet. Plymouth, once again, they have Port Vale as their final match of the season, and they need to equal or better, obviously, the result from Ipswich. Port Vale comes into the weekend at 18th place, 49 points. They've lost 3 of 4. Ipswich has Fleetwood Town. Fleetwood Town currently 13th in the table, and it is at and so that one is once again a decider. Ipswich has to better the result from Plymouth Argyle to figure out if they're going to win League One or if they are going to be the second team out of League One promoted. Either way, Plymouth Argyle, Ipswich, both are being promoted to the championship next year. We just don't know the order. Now the playoff. Sheffield Wednesday gets a home game. They can get no more than 96 points. They'll be your 3. Barnsley will be your number 4. Now the fun part. Bolton is at 78 points. Derby is at 76. Peterborough is at 74. That's what you're staring at here. The 3 teams, 2 spots for the promotion playoff in League One. Everybody else is playing out the string, and it will be interesting to see what happens in the matchups there. Relegation fight. Forest Green Rovers going back to League Two. Accrington Stanley down to League Two. Having lost 4 of 5, they play Cambridge United, who is in the relegation fight. What happens there? It is, you could have, and this is with math, so right now, with Oxford United at 47 points, they're at -6 in goal difference. If everybody won out, if MK Dons won to go to 47, Morecambe won to go to 47, Oxford United would be up on goal difference. So, Oxford United looks pretty safe unless something happens catastrophic. MK Dons right now are in 20th. They're at 44 points, goal difference of -22. They only have 3 points in their last 5 matches. Their goal difference, once again, -22. Morecambe's goal difference is hideous, -30. They're at 44 points. They've won 3 in a row to work their way into this position, but they're going to need a win and some help, or just to better MK Dons' result on the Saturday. Cambridge United, 43 points. They have lost 3 of 4 to go into the relegation zone at 12-7 and 26, goal difference of -29. We mentioned Accrington Stanley going down because 44 points is all they can do, and their goal difference is -38. Maybe they get some help, if something catastrophic happens along the lines with Morecambe. But right now, it looks like it is MK Dons, Morecambe, and Cambridge United, 3 teams, 2 spots in the relegation zone. So that gets us to League Two. And with League Two, who is going up, who is going down? Your standings, once again, last week of the regular season, Leyton Orient going up. They've won League Two. Stevenage going up. We just don't know if they're going to be the 2 or the 3. Northampton Town right now is the 3, but they're only 2 points clear of Stockport County. Stockport County has 78 points. A win by them would mean automatic promotion. A loss from Northampton would put them into the promotion playoff. Northampton plays Tranmere Rovers. Stockport gets Hartlepool, and Hartlepool is 23rd. So Stockport could end up with 81 points if things look the way that they do with the standings. Northampton, once again, needs to better or best Stockport County's result to stay automatically promoted. Carlisle, Salford City, Bradford City, Mansfield Town. Carlisle, Salford, and Bradford City, 5, 6, and 7, each have 75 points. Goal difference for Carlisle, -23, or +23. Goal difference for Salford City, +19. Goal difference for Bradford City, +18. Mansfield Town, outside looking in, they have Colchester, they have 72 points. So Mansfield right now has one of the better goal differences, but they need some help. They need win and help against Salford and Bradford City to get into the promotion playoff. The relegation goes to Hartlepool and to Rochdale. They go into the National League this upcoming season. Crawley Town has 46 points. They can't be touched. So that is your promotion relegation all the way through the top 4 divisions in the English Pyramid. That's everything going on in the Premier League. So it's Prem, Proper, and more this week on the show. So once again, enjoy your matches for the last week of the regular season, lower divisions. Enjoy your matches with 4 match weeks to go in the Premier League. It's going to be a fun sprint at the top and the bottom. We'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy the matches here. Enjoy your favorite team when it comes to life in the Premier League and the lower divisions. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Enjoy the matches this weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.